One. What's up, guys? We are back with another episode. Yes, Quincy Williams is here hosting this one. And I think this one is I think this one was ordained by God because at this point we are here with someone no other calling out of Savannah, Georgia, that doesn't just bring the energy, but I think he's gonna bring the best amount of advice and wisdom. We have Dr. Flo here on the call, and I'm so interested in what this man is doing in today's economy that is going to make us shift and change the way we are living. So, Dr. Flo, welcome. Welcome to the SMO podcast. How are
Thank
you
you
feeling
so
over
much
there?
for thank you so much for having me. I feel loved and lovable, and I'm grateful to be here with all of you today.
And for those that are watching us right now, do not know you, haven't heard from you before, can you tell them exactly who you are and what it is that you do?
Yes. Well, I'm Dr. Flo. I'm an online coach and mentor, a facilitator and guide for bold dreamers all over the planet who want to see their miracles come through in their lives. There are three areas that I work in: clarity, care, and connection. And that's what I build within Love and Action Network daily.
I love that. I love that. I feel like I'm gonna turn this into a Jay Shetty moment, because now we gotta get deep.
I love
Because
Jay.
what for those that are watching, man, like how did you get started in what it is that you do right now?
Whew. The journey's ongoing. I started Love City Arts Group, which eventually became Love and Action Network in 2017.
Mm,
I found a lot of the energy that was coming out of the political space to
mm,
be really negative, and it had what we would call the spirit of fear woven
mm,
throughout it. And at that time, when I was living in New York City full time on and off Broadway, I would ask the question of the communities that I sat in of on the way to Broadway, on the way to your next big break, on the way to your next opportunity, what are you doing with your time, talent, and treasure and your gifts on the way to the next big thing? And while there were a lot of people who had the talent, there weren't a lot of opportunities to shine. And so I created these healing gatherings in the West Village of New York City where people could come together and create an uplifting concert that would happen monthly in the city. And it was something that offset the energy that was happening on the major news networks. I,
mm.
I still feel that those of us who operate in the light could stand to be more amplified than those who deal in darkness.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Yeah, no, I mean that one is I mean, especially right now, it just feels like it's just getting so many people are just pushing negative, 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 and you're now opening up a door for people to understand their life. Like, hey, listen, there's a way for you to continuously keep pushing because sometimes it does redirect you. And sometimes the closest people next to you, you may think that they're positive, but they're dealing with their own negative. And they're dealing with their own negative that came from somewhere else. So why do most people stay stuck in this space?
Well, there's something that I teach in Love and Action Network called the propaganda of unworthiness. And if you're watching the news or if you're hanging around complaining people, you're usually steeped in or faced with or confronted with or constantly shown that propaganda of unworthiness. And if you've got people who want to sell you something, making you feel unworthy, or if you come from a family of origin that tried to diminish my light
Mm.
and to pretend like I wasn't as shiny and loved and lovable
Like
as I
that black
am.
sheep moment.
Oh, yes, I love a black sheep. I've actually been wanting to start something called the Black Sheep Brigade so that all of the black sheep can actually get together with the loners. Because the black sheep and the loners, there's a Venn diagram that overlaps of those two types of people. I think if we all came together and stood on business, as the kids say, as it relates to our difference and our uniqueness and how that makes us super special, it would be amazing. Because in order for, and I know you and I both deal in the marketing space, they want to trigger us to feel unworthy. So we'll
Mm,
buy that pair of shoes.
mm.
We'll buy that
Like they
watch.
say, the fashion industry is built on insecurity.
Yeah, yeah. And
Mm,
um and that insecurity, which some call imposter syndrome, is what keeps people stuck. I don't teach imposter syndrome anymore. I've retired that chapter out of my teaching manual, because what people call imposter syndrome is actually feeling insecure about the gifts that the divine gave you.
mm,
And if you can start to surround yourself with positive people and get yourself secure about who you are and your why and what you want to give as a gift
mm,
back to the world, insecurity and that feeling of stuck start to diminish.
mm,
We can do all things.
mm,
We can do all things.
mm. And if someone, I guess if someone came to you struggling right now, what's like that first thing you will fix with them? Like, what are you looking for?
I have requirements for the people that I work with, four of them actually. I'm looking for people who are honest, whatever that means for you,
Mm,
because we know that honesty in this society is a sliding scale. So honesty, openness, willingness, and availability.
mm,
And the biggest one of all four is willingness. You'd be surprised how many people I work with or bring into my discovery calls who have all of the dreams and so much ambition, and they want it so bad. But then once you start going 5 whys deep on what they got going on, you'll find that the willingness is actually lacking. Willingness propels us to do what we got to do to get the job done.
mm,
And a lot of people say they're willing, but when you start looking at the fruit of their lives and what they're actually doing, there's not a lot of willingness there. So I'm always
mm,
trying to surface the people who have a burning desire and a
mm,
willingness to actually do step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towards the actualization of their dreams.
mm. I love that. I love that. And if you were to give one piece of advice to someone that's looking to grow, like right now, they're just looking to grow, because I feel like that's what you're talking about, that insecurity. If they're looking to grow right now, what would it be?
You got to bloom where you plant it.
Mm,
A lot of people think that they need to be somewhere else in a different environment, different friend group. People are wanting to have a whole different version of their lives than what they have right now in order to grow.
mm,
Right where you are is enough. That's Dr. Flow principle number 2, by the way. Dr. Flow principle number 1 is that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable. You're always going to be loved and lovable. Dr. Flow
mm,
principle number 2 is that you have everything in your hands right now to actualize your dream. Dr. Flow principle number 3 is you got to see it for yourself.
mm,
You got to believe in yourself every moment of the day. And for those of you who are into quantum field work, you got to picture and have a vision in your mind of where you want to go and start pulling yourself towards it and pulling it towards you through your love and action. But for people that want to grow today, bloom where you're planted. There's someone in your phone right now. There are 490 million people on threads right now saying all kinds of habababa. And one of them wants to help you. They want to
mm.
help you bloom where you are. And one last thing I'll share on that question is the story that I love. Have you heard the story about the acres of diamonds?
Of course.
Yeah, I love that story about a farmer who, I'm paraphrasing, it's a Dr. Flo paraphrase, a farmer who was in his farmhouse and he heard that in far off lands, people were gathering and discovering diamonds.
Mm,
And so he set off from his house to go and find diamonds in far off places. And he looked for years and he never found diamonds. And he threw himself into the river because he felt like he'd never find what he wanted. Someone else moved into the house that he left, his original house, and they saw something shining on the mantle. What is this? And so they went out into the backyard of the house that the farmer left, and the guy was sitting on top of acres of diamonds in his own backyard. A lot of people to grow are looking for something out there when they have so many gifts, valuable, worthy, expensive gifts in their own backyard. And part of what we do in Love and Action Network is to help people discover their gifts, and then we encourage, equip, and empower them to live their dreams out.
Mm.
I don't
I love that.
believe in the in one day I'll inherit the earth. It is ours to inherit today.
Listen, today,
Today.
it's so funny how people actually mix that up. How it's a different time for a different topic for a different day.
I
I
cannot wait to see
always
what we
question
build.
that too. I'm
Yeah.
like y'all reading this wrong.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes. It is oh the
Different conversation for a different
yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
have a question for you.
Okay, okay. Because
Where,
it's a
where,
right now kind of anointing. It's a right
right?
now
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, you got
anointing.
it right now. You can do everything you need to be. I love that, and I love what you stated. And I guess two questions in one. First of all, where can people find you and to learn more about this flow work they could be doing with you? And for those that are watching themselves like doubting, like right now, what would you say to them?
If you are doubting yourself right now, it's because you believe something about yourself that love does not believe about you. And I would tell you to get into your secret place of the Most High and meditate just for 5 minutes a day on what love is trying to say to you. Because oftentimes the messages that love is trying to say and what we're saying to ourselves are two different things, but love has the answer and joy is the key. And if you want to find out more about the work that we do here in Love and Action Network, you can go to lovedandlovable.org, lovedandlovable.org. And if you want to learn more about me and what got me here over the last 30 years to the encouragement, equipment, and empowerment, you can go to askdrflow.com, askdrflow.com, askdrflow.com. And we know that when you ask and you believe and you put your love in action, you're going to receive.
Wow, guys. I think it's so funny. I gotta ask you this bonus question now, because what is the belief you had to break to become this version of you?
Ooh. Ooh. I'm going to borrow from my spiritual daddy, Les Brown, on this one. You don't know enough about your life to be a cynic about your life.
Mm,
You don't know enough about your life. A lot of people, I coach through the framework of cognitive behavioral therapy, and one of the cognitive distortions of cognitive behavioral therapy is fortune telling and catastrophizing.
mm.
And I had to stop that. I do not have a crystal ball under this chair in my office. I don't know how bright and joyous and secure my future can be. I got to live the questions.
Mm.
And I had to stop that. I had to stop sitting around because I'm.
You can finish this sentence.
Ooh, I love an orchestra. I had to stop stinking thinking. I'm a former addict
Mm,
who felt like I needed those substances
mm,
to calm down because I know that my God light is big. And the thought I always had was that things were never going to work out for me again. I've had mountaintop experiences. Every childhood dream I've had in my life, I manifested. I wanted to be in financial services and a bank teller and a branch manager of a bank. I did that. I wanted to be a flight attendant. I did that. I wanted to work on Broadway. I did that. I wanted to sing on cruise ships. I did that. I wanted to work in amusement parks. I did that. But once you've had those peak experiences, sometimes the spirit of fear will overtake you and believe that you've already peaked, as they say, that you're
Mm,
not going to have uh, more of what I teach as great sex, great food, great adventures, and great rest. And so
mm,
if you feel washed up, you can go into despair. And after you start catastrophizing that things are never going to get better, or you start fortune telling that your best days are behind you and you're not going to have good in your future, oh man, that is just a recipe for disaster and a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I had to get off that stuff
mm,
and to start to, like I told everyone earlier, and what does love say about my I am?
mm,
What is love calling me towards?
mm,
And that really helped. I've been sober now for the last 9 months or so,
mm,
and I really didn't think that I'd be able to step back from those particular substances, and I didn't think that I would have joy without needing the assistance.
mm,
I was scared. I was scared that I would never turn up again. I would never feel that novelty that the things can give us. And I've done all the things. And I thought that I would never be who I am without a crutch. And I'm happy to say that that spark for life, that joy overflowing, that peace that passes understanding,
mm,
it's here and now because I got rid of the storytelling that things were not going to get better.
mm. What
Be
a
ye
great.
not weary in your well doing.
Mm,
You're going to reap if you faint not.
mm. What a great session, guys. This was by far Dr. Flo, man. Wow. That was, yeah, that was a really great explanation of there was revival, there was,
Yes.
yeah, there was. Yeah, man, you brought a really great message, and I love that. I love that a lot. I think a lot of people watching today is just like, yeah, let's get situated on that standpoint. Let's start to take action now. Let's start to move closer now. Let's start to revive ourselves now. I think you did such a great message. It was such a very powerful. Guys, we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Go ahead and click the links down below to connect with Dr. Flo. Catch you guys later.